5th December 2020 Morning Murli Om Shanti BapDada Madhuban. Sweet children, you now have to return home and you must therefore become soul conscious. Remember the one Father and your final thoughts will lead you to your destination. Question: what wonderful secret has the wonderful Father revealed to you? Answer: Baba says, children, this eternal imperishable drama is predestined. Each one's part in it is fixed. Anything that happens is nothing new. The Father says, children, there is no greatness of mine in this. I too am bound by the bond of the drama. By telling you this wonderful secret, it is as though the Father has reduced the importance of his part. Song: at last that day for which we had been waiting has come. Om Shanti. Sweetest spiritual children are singing this song. You children understand that the Father comes after a cycle to make us healthy and wealthy once again and to give us our inheritance of purity, peace and happiness. Those Brahmins too give blessings. May you be wealthy. May you have many children. You children are receiving the inheritance. So it is not a question of blessings. You children are studying. You know that 5,000 years ago too, the Father changed you from humans into deities, from ordinary humans into Narayan by giving you teachings. Children who study know what they are studying and who their teacher is. They also know that number wise according to the efforts they make. You children would say that you know that the kingdom is being established, that is, the deity kingdom is being established. The original eternal deity religion is being established. Previously we were Shudras and we have now become Brahmins and we will then become deities. No one in the world knows that they now belong to the Shudra clan. You children know that this is a true. The Father tells you the truth and is establishing the land of truth. There are no lights or scene, etc. in the golden age. It is only in the iron age that there are sinful souls such as Ajamil. At this time, it is the extreme depths of hell. Day by day, the extreme depths of hell will become visible. Human beings perform such actions that you can understand that the world is becoming more and more tamapradhan every day. Lust is the greatest enemy in this respect. Hardly anyone is able to remain pure. In the early days, fakirs means religion ascetics used to say the iron age will be such that girls who are only 12 and 13 years old will give birth to children. That time is now. Kumars and Kumaris all continue to perform dirty actions. The Father says it is when everyone has become completely tamapradhan that I come. I too have a part in the drama. I too am bound by the bond of the drama. This is nothing new for you children. The Father explains in this way. You go around the cycle and the drama then comes to an end. Now remember the Father and you will become Satopradhan and the masters of the Satopradhan world. He explains to you in such an ordinary way. The Father doesn't give that much importance to his own part. This is my part. It is not anything new. I have to come every 5,000 years. I too am bound by the drama. I come and show you children how you can have such an easy pilgrimage of remembrance. It is of this time that it is said, your final thoughts will lead you to your final destination. This is the final period. The Father shows you the method. Constantly remember me alone and you will become Satopradhan. You children also understand that you will become the masters of the new world. The Father repeatedly says, this is nothing new. They tell the stories of a genie. He said that he wanted to do some work and so he was told to go up and down a ladder. The Father says, this too is a play about ascending and descending. You have to become pure from impure and impure from pure. This is not difficult. It is very easy. But what do you have to battle with? Because they don't understand this, they have mentioned a war in the scriptures. In fact, it is a very big war to conquer Maya, Ravan. You children see that you remembered the Father again and again, and that your remembrance breaks. Maya extinguishes the flame. Where is the story of Gul Bakavli based on this? Where a cat comes and knocks over a lamp, you children gain a victory. Some may be processing very well, but then Maya comes and extinguishes the lamp. Children say, Baba, many storms of Maya come. Many types of storms come to the children. Sometimes such storms come so forcefully that even some very good trees that are 8 to 10 years old fall. You children know this, and you also speak of how some who were very good beads of the rosary are not here today. There is also the example of the crocodile that ate the elephant. That is the storm of Maya. The Father says, continue to be cautious about the 5 vices. If you stay in remembrance, you will become strong, become soul conscious. Only once do you receive these teachings from the Father. No one else will tell you to become soul conscious. Even in the golden age, no one will say this. You do remember your name, form, land, and time period. At this time, I explained to you that you now have to return home. You were Satopradhan at first. You have taken the full 84 births in the Sato, Rajo, and Tamo stage. In that too, Brahma is number one. For others, it can be just 83 births, but for this one, it is the full 84 births. At first, this one was Sri Narayan. To say something about this one means to refer to everyone else too. He takes this knowledge at the end of his many births and then becomes Narayan. In the picture of the tree, he is shown as Sri Narayan at the beginning and then as Brahma at the end. Down below, he is studying Raj Yoga. The father of people can never be called the Supreme Father. Only the one can be called the Supreme Father. This one is called the Father of people means Prajapita. This one is a bodily being, whereas that one is bodiless, without an image. A physical father is called a father, and this one is called the Father of people. That Supreme Father resides in the Supreme Abode. You wouldn't say that the Father of people resides in the Supreme Abode. He exists here in the corporeal world. He doesn't even exist in the subtle region. It is in the corporeal world that people exist. The Father of people cannot be called God. God doesn't have a bodily name. He is separate from human bodies that are given names. When souls live there, they are beyond physical names and forms. However, they are souls, sages, and holy men don't know anything. Those people simply leave their household, but they are experienced in the vices of the world. Little children are completely unaware of those. This is why they are called great souls. They don't know anything of the five vices. A small child is said to be pure. At this time, no one is said to be a pure soul. They grow from young to old, but they are still said to be impure. The Father explains each one has his own separate part recorded in the drama. However, many bodies you take in this cycle, and however many actions you perform, they are all repeated. First of all, you have to recognize souls. An imperishable part of 84 births is recorded in such a tiny soul. This is the most wonderful aspect. Souls are imperishable and the drama too is imperishable. It is predestined. You cannot ask when it began. It is said to be nature. No one can do anything about what a soul is like or how the drama is created. Just as there cannot be an end to the ocean or the sky, so too. This is the imperishable drama. It is such a wonder. Just as Baba is wonderful, this knowledge is also wonderful. No one else can give you this knowledge. So many actors have all been playing their own parts. The question of when the play was created cannot arise. Many ask what was it to God that He sat and created a world of happiness and sorrow. However, it is eternal. There is no annihilation. It is predestined, and so you cannot ask why it was created. It is only when you are able to understand the knowledge of souls that the Father gives it to you. You continue to progress day by day. In the beginning, Baba used to explain very little to you. They were wonderful things and they also had an attraction that pulled you. There was also the attraction of the bhakti. In the scriptures, it has been shown that Krishna was taken away from the land of Kans. You now know that there was no such a devil as Kans, etc. there. The Gita, the Bhagavad, and the Mahabharata, etc., are all connected, but there is nothing in them. They believe that Dashera means burning of the effigy of Ravan has continued from time immemorial. No one knows what Ravan is. The deities all continue to become impure as they came down. They are the ones who called out a great deal because they had become impure. This is why they call out, "Oh, purifier!" Only the Father sits and explains all these things. No one else knows the beginning, the middle, or the end of the world cycle. You know that you became the rulers of the globe by becoming this. It has been written on the Trimurti. This is your godfatherly birthright. It is said establishment through Brahma, destruction through Shankar, and sustenance through Vishnu. Destruction also definitely has to take place. There are very few in the new world. There are now innumerable religions. They understand that the original eternal deity religion no longer exists. So, that one religion is definitely needed. The Mahabharata is connected with the Gita. This cycle continues to turn. It cannot stop for even a second. It is not anything new. You have claimed the kingdom many times. Those who are fully content remain very mature and serious. They understand internally that they have claimed the kingdom many times and that It is only a matter of yesterday when they last claimed their kingdom. Yesterday we were deities, and having gone round the cycle, we have now become impure, and we are now claiming the sovereignty of the world with the power of yoga. The Father says you claim the sovereignty of the world every cycle. There cannot be even the slightest difference. Some claim a low status in the kingdom and some a high status. That is the result of the effort you make. You know that you were previously worse than monkeys. The Father is now making you worthy of sitting in a temple. The souls of the good children realize that they truly were of no use and that they are now becoming worth a pound. Every cycle the Father makes us worth a pound from being worth pennies. Only those of the previous cycle will be able to understand these things very well. When you hold exhibitions, etc., that is nothing new. It is by holding those that you establish the land of immortality. There are so many temples to the goddesses on the path of devotion. All of those are the paraphernalia of being worshippers. There is no paraphernalia of being worthy of worship. The Father says, day by day, I explain very deep points to you. You have so many points from the early days. What will you do with those now? They will be left just like that. At present, BapDada continues to explain new points. Each soul is such a tiny point and has all of his part recorded in him. This point is not in the notebooks of your early days. So, what will you do with the old points now? It is only the result at the end that will be useful. The Father says, I spoke this to you in the same way in the previous cycle too. You continue to study number wise. There may be fluctuation in some subjects. There are bad omens in business too. You mustn't have heart failure over that. You should get back on your feet and make effort. Some people go bankrupt and yet they start some other business and became very wealthy. Here too, even when someone falls into vice, the Father says make effort very well and claim a high status. You should start climbing up again. The Father says you have fallen and so you now have to climb up. There are many who fall and then try to climb up again. Baba doesn't forbid you. The Father knows that many such souls will come. The Father will say, make effort. They will at least become helpers to some extent. It would be said to be according to the drama plan. The Father would say, okay child, are you now satisfied? You floundered a great deal. Now make effort once again. The unlimited Father would say this, would he not? So many come to meet Baba. I tell them, will you not listen to the unlimited Father? Will you not become pure? The Father considers himself to be a soul and speaks to souls, and so the arrow definitely strikes the target. For instance, when a woman is struck by the arrow, she says, I will make this promise. The husband may not be struck by the arrow. Then, as she progresses, she would try to uplift him as well. There are many such men whose wives have brought them into knowledge. Each would say that his wife is his guru. When those Brahmins tie them in bondage to one another, they tell the bride that her husband is her God. Here, the Father says, the one Father is everything for you. Mine is one and none other. Everyone remembers him. You have to have yoga with that one. Even this body is not mine. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, BapDada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children says Namaste and good morning to the spiritual father. Essence for the dharana. First point, when there are any bad omens, do not become disheartened and just sit down. Make effort once again and claim a high status by staying in remembrance of the Father. Second point, make your stage so strong with remembrance that no storms of Maya can attack you. Continue to protect yourself from the vices. Blessing. May you become an example who experiences the stage of being free from bondage by performing every action while Trikaladarshi and a detached observer. Explanation. If you perform actions while stable in the Trikaladarshi stage and know the beginning, middle, and end of every action, then none of your actions will become sinful. They will always be pure actions. In the same way, while perform actions as a detached observer, you will not become a soul in karmic bondage while doing everything, because the fruit of actions is elevated. You will form relationships through actions, not bondages. While doing everything, remain detached and loving, and you will become an example in front of many souls. Slogan. Those whose minds are always content remain double light. Om Shanti